Hi everyone, Stepan here. I'm going to play a training game, another one, and we have the Caro-Kann. Sorry for starting to record a bit late after the first move of the game. I was actually talking to Lucia, and when the game started I shouted hello. Okay, the advanced variation. This is not a good idea, and the engine says black is equal here, but that aside, black is left with his good bishop, and more importantly, his bad bishop has been traded off for white's good bishop. So white's pawns are on dark squares, and the bishop on d3 is usually a monster, or on e2, because on d3 it gets traded off. And most importantly, it puts pressure on h7, which is really hard to defend because there is no knight on f6. So strategically and conceptually, that's all fine. However, proving the advantage takes some time, but strategically this is, I think, an advantage to black. Okay, I'm going to play knight c6 and the other knight to f5, trying to put pressure on d4 and force him to capture on c5. Okay, knight e7. If he takes on c5 now, I can go knight e5, so that of course wouldn't be a good trade for him. And now knight f5 is coming, and g4, it can always be met with knight h4. Okay, one question, or two questions. I read your comments, and one of your comments said, and I don't want to forget this, that I should take the audio track through some filtering software like Audacity, and I'm going to try to do that. That's good advice. Secondly, someone said, I mentioned that my phone is broken, that I should get a wireless charger or something like that, and that you just put your phone on it. And that could actually be the solution, because I don't know what's it called, the thing where you plug in the cable, obviously doesn't work, or either that or the battery. Okay, so thank you for that. Okay, knight g3 is a strange move. It prevents knight f5, but if I go h5, does he go h4? And if he goes h4 and I go knight g6, how does he defend? h5, h4, knight g6, with a simple idea of bishop e7 and taking this pawn with something. I don't think he can play h4 because it loses a pawn. H4 is a good move in positions like the tile, where the knight is on f3 and you can control the g5 square. But here h5, excuse me, h5 has to be the correct idea here. Because if I can play knight f5, h4 and knight f5 just force the knight back. That seems good. My opponent is rated 2175. Yeah, and if you've seen my yesterday's game, I got destroyed, unfortunately. I hope to do better in this one. At least this is a position I'm comfortable playing. It's a very rich position and it could get tactical, but I like it regardless of whether it remains closed or opens up completely. And I have a very clear plan of just attacking d4. I also could have considered, instead of h5, cd, queen b6, where bishop e3 cannot be played because of queen b7, because of queen b2. So he would have to either play knight e2 or rook d1. If knight e2, then knight f5. And if rook d1, I don't know. h5 there, or rook c8. That's actually a good plan. cd, cd, queen b6, rook d1, rook c8, threatening knight d4, queen d4, queen d4, rook d4, rook c1, mate. Or not mate, he has knight f1. Yeah, I don't know how to deal with h5. I mean, it's probably not the best idea, conceptually speaking, to play h5 when your king is still on e8 and you haven't developed your minor pieces even. But I don't see what he does. And I don't see what he does. My knight is going to be beautiful on f5. He's never going to be able to dislodge it because g4 runs into en passant. Any f-pawn move makes queen b6 much stronger, because there would be, for example, queen cd, cd, queen b6. Okay. I'm just going to play h4 and knight f5. I'm not going to think about it too much. Again, he cannot take on c5 because I take on e5. This is a very common advanced variation position, and I'm enjoying it very much. What does he take with if I play cd? That's the first question. The second question is, do I even care about cd? Can I just play bishop e7 and g5? What does he want to do? How can he dislodge my knight? He cannot dislodge my knight. Can I even consider c4? Just making sure that all of his pieces are now useless. No, I'm just going to play bishop e7. Bishop e7 is a sensible move, and I want to play something like queen b6 and castles queenside. Or maybe even queen c7 with ideas of knight takes e5. Or f6. f6. And now I also have g5, which has been further supported, so... Definitely queen c7 and f6 seem interesting. If he plays b4, I'm going to simply play c4. Okay, queen c7 it is. I need to connect my rooks. And I need to give myself attacking options. So now if he plays dc, I'm actually not running into issues with knight e5, because on bishop f4 I can just... Whoa, ho, ho. This has to be a bad idea, I feel. Can I punish him directly somehow? If I play cd, He takes CD. Had I played queen b6, well, yeah, actually. Okay, I'm just castling queenside. I don't even care. He can take on c5. I don't care about the pawn. I need time. He didn't take the pawn. Okay, that's his choice. Still, do I care about CD? I don't think so. Or DC, excuse me. Can I just go g5 now, or is f6 more precise? I like f6 more. I don't care about DC, to be honest. I still don't care. f6, DC, fe. f6, ef, gf, DC, rook g8 has to be great for me. I'm just playing f6. I need to undermine his position. He can take pawns all he wants if he wants to take on c5. That seems pretty suicidal. I could have closed the position with c4, but then b3 is actually annoying because it opens up the b file by force. This way at least I have some time after b4, b5. And I don't think he can take now, because if I win the e5 pawn and open up the diagonal, then it should be an overwhelming attack, I think. f4, maybe there was a direct way to punish f4, but I couldn't see it. I just want to blow open lines. If he ever takes on f6, then the g file opens. And if he doesn't take, I still have g5. And the main thing is, unless he takes on f6, he cannot take on c5. Okay, and that still applies. So now I'm thinking rook g8 makes perfect sense. Unless he can now play dc, fe, fe, knighty, knighty, queenie. That's too many trades. So I think I'll just take now. Well, I don't want to take now, actually. Should I just go rook g8? Rook g8, let's assume dc, g5. Yeah, okay, I'm going rook dg8. I'm slightly annoyed that I'm moving my rook away from his queen. But I have to do it this way because I don't want to lose my h-pawn. I'd say my pieces stand well, with the exception of my king. So if given time, I want to go king b8. And I think that's the last improvement I need. And then I'm playing g5. But maybe I don't even need king b8. Maybe I can just go g5. Okay. He took on c5. I'm happy to see that. I mean, it is too many trades, but what can I do? I need to I need to open up lines. The good news is that his bishop is still kind of restricted. If he goes bishop d4, I don't know what I'm going to do. I think queen c7 with the threat of bishop c5. And now I think my attack is quicker. I think g5 is a... Okay, I need g5, g4, g3. And he needs b4, b5, c6. Or maybe even c6 now. Yeah, c6 now. Because on b6 he has queen a6. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see b6 immediately. And he's also threatening bishop a7. Yeah, that's why I said I needed king b8. Okay. So, let's create threats of our own. Can I go bishop d6 and just ignore what he's doing? Bishop d6, cb check, king b8. Bishop d6, cb check, king b8. He has no checks apart from bishop a7, and if he plays bishop a7 I can just take it safely, I think. So bishop d6, he has to play something to g3 or g3. Yeah, I'm going bishop d6. I don't see a way out unless he plays g3. Or maybe bishop d4, but I can just take on h2 in that case. And if he plays g3, the h file is opening up. Yeah, I think my attack is quicker, but I don't like the fact that my king isn't on b8. Now it is on b8, but there's a pawn on b7, and that's... I don't like that. He cannot play queen a6 here, threatening queen a7, because I have bishop h2 mate. This is getting pretty critical. Yeah, rook g8 wasn't a good idea. Very often in these positions, I seem to lose the grip on the position when I play a rook 2. Ah, this is a nice move. This is a nice move. I didn't see this. Nice one. Ah, damn. This is a very nice move. So I'm thinking d4, which makes queen f4 possible, because of course if I play queen f4 now, he plays bishop a7. But after d4, if he plays rook e1, I take on f4. If he plays bishop d4, then I play knight d4, and on queen d4 I have bishop c5. And on cd4, this is a very nice move. I didn't see this. So d4, bishop d4. Knight d4, he needs to play c d4. And I want to go queen f6 and then g5. Okay, I'm playing d4. I think this is sensible. I'm also blocking in the bishop, which is a welcome bonus because queen a6 doesn't come with a mate threat. Knight f4 was a nice move, I didn't see that. I think he needs to give up his bishop. He needs to play bishop d4. Can he do anything else? I think bishop d4 is forced. I don't know what he's thinking about. Yeah, I mean, he has to do this. Don't play queen d4. Don't play queen d4. Okay. I was thinking queen f6 and g5. But now I see that he has queen g6. No, he actually doesn't. Queen f6, queen g6, bishop f4, queen f6, bishop e3. Ah, he has queen f2 in the end. But okay, I I don't see what else I can do if not queen f6, because queen g5. Okay, I'm playing queen f6. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, on queen g6, queen d4. Wait, what was my plan against knight g6? Okay, for some reason I just thought knight g6 wasn't good. Let's pretend that this was planned. Okay, why did I do this? His d4 pawn is actually useful. Well, I'm just playing like an idiot. I think I ruined the great position. Or I'm sure I ruined it, but I think it was a great position. So now I'm 2 pawns and the exchange down. For nothing. I have no pressure on the dark squares. Well, I do have some pressure. I think his knight was more useful in the defense than my rook was in the attack, especially the rook on g8. Okay. He's preventing me from moving my rook away. Unfortunately. I think I have to get rid of that pawn. So I'm going to play queen d5, threatening queen g2 and take on b7. But then he has rook b3 at some point. But then again, if I don't get rid of this pawn, okay, I'm playing queen d5. He has queen f3, but then I take on d4. So I don't think he can play queen f3. I played very poorly. My idea of bishop d6 and then... I mean, bishop d6 is a good move if he plays something stupid like g3 or knight g3, but he found knight f4. And I just couldn't see what to do if not d4. So yeah, not a good idea. I mean, I still like my chances here. Both kings are unsafe. I don't think his rook is better than my bishop. And I'm always threatening bishop takes g3. If he moves his queen now, bishop g3 is, I think, devastating. If, for example, I don't know, queen b1, which is absurd, but let's say, or queen a6. Queen a6 is not absurd. Then bishop g3, h3, h2 check. He needs to play king f2. Then queen d4. Or I can just queen. That's a rook for a bishop. So queen a6 would lose a pawn in the exchange here. And also I would like to play e5 now, but I'm worried about rook f5. At least now he doesn't have rook f5. So e5 he cannot take because the queen is pinned. If he plays queen f3, I still play queen d4, threatening bishop c5. Okay, I like e5. I like e5. Does he have rook b3 there? I don't think I want to take... Does he have queen a6 now? Queen a6 with the threat of rook c8. Queen a6, queen d4, rook c8. Yeah, queen a6 threatens rook c8. So if I go e5, he can go queen a6. So e5 isn't a good move. So I think I'm just going to take on b7, but that seems like a huge waste of time. Okay, let's look at e5, queen a6, bishop c7. e5, queen a6, bishop c7. If he then takes d5, then I don't know what to do. King b7 runs into queen f3. Queen b7 runs into queen f3. But I need to get rid of this pawn. If I don't get rid of this pawn, I'm going to lose. So I'm just going to take on b7. All variations with queen a6 seem devastating, so I'm just going to get rid of it. On queen f3, I'll try something like queen b6 maybe. That pawn was too dangerous. And they still have the same threats of bishop g3 if his queen moves away somewhere. I know he has rook c3, rook b3 ideas now. Okay. How can I improve my position? I don't know. I'm thinking king a8. Or maybe e5. I don't understand rook c2. I'll just play king a8. Just to make sure rook c3, rook b3 doesn't win my queen. He cannot move the c2 rook away from the second rank because he gets mated. I don't know. It seems like a very complicated position still. Of course, white should be better because he has a lot of material up. Okay. Can I just take on b2? I think I can. Take on b2 threatening mate. So he plays rook c2, rook 6 to c2. Or he plays queen f3 and then I play queen b7. He cannot take on d6. Okay, I'm taking. I don't see it. So I'm just gonna take. Because I'm threatening mate, and if he takes the bishop, I can mate him. If he doesn't play rook c2, I don't see an alternative to rook c2. And I also think it has to be rook 6 to c2. Because otherwise I play queen b1 check, and then he is in trouble after king f2, rook f8. Then he's probably getting mated. Okay, this I was sort of expecting, and he cannot take the bishop now. because the rook is pinned to the queen. And I may finally have my bishop g3 idea. Okay, that forces a rook trade. Which is probably a good idea for him. I mean, he should just trade queens now. How winning is this endgame? Very winning, probably. Okay, let's try to hold this. It's not impossible to hold this. As long as I have the threat of bishop g3, I have something. So okay, let's try to round up the d4 pawn. Oh, I lost the bishop. Okay, Jesus. Oh, okay. This was just stupid. Let me just say good game. Okay. Okay. Knight f4 was a really nice move. Knight f4 was a really, really nice move. Let's have a look at this. Okay, so I'm assuming I'm much better here. Well, not much better, minus 0.6, okay. Oh, I just win a piece? Okay. I can just win a piece with c4. Yeah, rook g8 is a mistake again. Every time I play rook g8 in positions like this, it's a mistake. Here, 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 here. Okay. Bishop d6. Knight f4. Wait, and I should play g5? What happens on rook e1? So I just give up my queen. Okay. Yeah, this wasn't a good game. And a nice liquidation in the end. I mean, apart from his one blunder, like here, yeah, okay, I didn't think about f4 enough. So, yeah, this just wins a piece. And then, where did I go wrong? I think... Okay, again, I was saying maybe I should close the position down with c4. And it was good here as well. Because I don't really need a rook on g8. Because he's not forced to open up the g file. So after rook dg8 I'm worse. Takes, takes, takes. And then yeah, then I should have just continued g5. I automatically took on e5, which is just absurd. I should have threatened g4 and then taking on e5. Yeah, this makes way more sense. I don't know why white should be better here. But okay, let's see. Let's assume I take here. No. here, here. And what if he takes on e6? Okay. Yeah, okay, taking on e5 is bad. Taking on e5 is bad, and rook dg8 is bad. And after here, do I have any alternatives to... Wait, c6 is a mistake. c6 seems great. Okay, bishop d6. Ah, okay, cb7 first. Yeah, which is why I should have played king c7. Or king takes b7. Because then on knight f4 I can just take. King b8. King b8 gives him the option to play knight f4, which I didn't see. But I was afraid if I play king takes b7 that he has queen b5, which is true. But I'm getting away somehow. This doesn't seem nice though. Okay, and after knight f4... After knight f4, the best move is rook e8. Who would play rook e8? Okay, it makes sense actually to defend the pawn, but how do I prevent knight g6? Ah no, still the idea is taking on f4. Okay, this was a bad game. This was a bad game. I'm sorry about this. See you tomorrow, hopefully with a much better one. Stay tuned for more chess. Bye bye.